Here's how I was able to correct my scoliosis by nearly 10 degrees. In the first slide, you can see my upper thoracic with a measurement of negative 48 degrees. And after 3 months of doing very specific stretches, I was able to shave off 9 degrees. Here's the x-ray of my lower back starting at 38 degrees. After 3 months of doing stretches 3 times a week, I was able to bring it down to 35 degrees. Before I started my scoliosis correction journey, I've been an avid gym goer and I've always noticed a little bit of imbalance in my posture. So at the age of 25, I reached out to a facility that specializes in adult scoliosis correction. Each appointment has a pretty similar structure. It starts with lumbar adjustments. Then we do some deep tissue muscle work using this gun that kind of sounds like a chisel. When I first started this boot camp, this was like the most painful part because I had so much fluid built up around the curvature of my spine. I mean, it was almost painful to the touch. Once the chiropractic portion of the session is finished up, we go on to the specific stretches that are used to pull my spine back into its most ideal state. This first apparatus, which kind of looks like a guillotine, is used to pull my hips upward, and that's because I sort of have like a duck-like tilt. Once my doctor gets my hips into the proper position, I'll sit here for about 7 or 8 minutes, and then he'll come back after that timer is done and adjust the machine to make it a little bit more challenging. In total, I sit here for 15 minutes though. And my appointments are usually in the evening, so after work, sometimes I fall asleep in this position. It's somewhat comfortable. This next stretch is used to correct the curve in my lower spine, and it starts by laying over a block in which I get strapped down to this table using these like ratchet straps. At first, it's a little bit awkward and a bit uncomfortable, but over time it gets a little bit easier. And then my doctor will come in and strap me down a little bit further. It's kind of freaky watching this video because you can see how my rib cage compresses with the tension of the straps. The last stretch I do is to mobilize my upper spine. It starts with a block, kind of just like I did for my lower back, and then I get strapped down to the table once again. This stretch is one of my favorites because it starts off relatively mild, but after enough time passes, I can feel my vertebrae beginning to loosen up and to move with the direction of the tension from the straps. After those 3 stretches are done, my doctor will typically give me an ice pack to put on my lower and upper back, and I'll rest on this ice pack for about 10 minutes or so. My goal is to reduce my scoliosis as much as possible while I'm still comfortable. Fortunately, I started this process before it became a painful issue and before I needed surgery, so the idea is to push out surgery as long as I possibly can. And if you're interested in my journey of correcting adult scoliosis, feel free to follow along. My next x-ray is in 3 months and I'll report back then.